seconds and counting. Team.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I joined with Roman, and we have some exciting news regarding Jalen Pitre. And before we start, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more Texans updates. And this is what Lovie Smith said about Jalen Pitre. He said he's one of our starting safeties. He says, I know we don't give out many starting spots right out the gate, but he's been working with the ones. He's intelligent, smart, everything we're looking for in a safety he has. Can't wait for him to play his first game. So that's very, very high praise from Lovie Smith. So Roman, what do you think about this comment about Jalen Pitre starting from day one?
Yeah, I love it. He's just an all-around playmaker in the secondary. He can play almost any position in the secondary. He can play slot corner. He can play normal corner at times if needed. Of course, he can play safety. He can basically play every position in the secondary. And he's just an all-around playmaker. As long as he's on the field, he's going to be making plays, whether it's creating tackles for losses, interceptions, causing fumbles, picking up fumbles. He's just an all-around playmaker. And everybody's seen it at Baylor, especially Baylor fans. They're really, really high on him. And he's for a good reason. And one thing that I really want to mention is Jalen Pitre. He likes to compare himself, or not really compare himself, but he says he tries to model his game, and he looks up to Tyrann Mathieu a lot. And you can really, really see it in the way he plays. When you look at Tyrann Mathieu, of course, he was here in Houston for a season. And if you go back to that season, Houston really used Tyrann Mathieu in a variety of ways. He played some slot corner. He played some sub linebacker. He played safety, of course. He basically played almost every position on defense other than, of course, pass rusher or defensive line. But I think Houston, they can really use Jalen Pitre in a very similar way. Both, they're not the biggest type of players. They're not the biggest player on the field. Both a little bit smaller. But both really come in and make a huge impact on the team. Whether it's, of course, as I said earlier, causing fumbles, making interceptions, creating big hits. They're always there at the right place at the right time. And they can be that vocal point of the defense. They can be that alpha guy. They can be that leader that gets the defense usually it's supposed to be the middle linebacker that has that alpha mentality, that leader of the defense. But I think Jalen Pitre, he can really be that type of player for the secondary. He can get those players into shape, into line, get them focused, be ready for the next play. Jalen Pitre is that type of guy. And I think we've really drafted a future All-Pro in the second round. That's what I really think about Jalen Pitre.
The one spot that I was worrying about on this team was safety, like our safety depth. Wasn't looking too promising before we drafted Pitre, because we had Jonathan Owens, who has had his moments, MJ Stewart, who's a new addition, Eric Murray, who we know he had a better season last year, but his first season here wasn't all too great. So that was the one position that I was kind of more so worried about. So the fact that Jalen Pitre, he didn't have many snaps at safety. If you look at his snap count, he played majority of his snaps at slot in 1,200 snaps, and then 425 snaps in the box. So he only had 16 snaps deep compared. So the fact that he is getting that starting safety role is pretty awesome. I think he played the star position in Baylor, which asked him to do a lot of things. It was kind of like a Swiss Army type role. He's a box safety, a slot defender, outside linebacker, and to be a safety, you have to be as athletic as a cornerback and as tough as a linebacker. And Jalen Pitre, he is the definition of tough. And in terms of comparisons, like you said, Tyrann Mathieu, I would want to say he kind of reminds me a little bit of Jamal Adams, just in terms of how he blitzes a lot, or how he was used in the blitz, just getting after the quarterback, getting in the backfield, like a smaller version of him, and someone who could probably have a better chance at covering wide receivers and tight ends. So, and he had 25 quarterback pressures, one of the highest graded players in run defense. He's great in coverage. He had allowed no touchdowns last year. He had 34 run stops and 19 tackles for loss or no gain. And those are both first ranks since 2020. So I think Jalen Pitre, in terms of instinct, speed and burst, agility and technique, tackling, I think he is a great fit for safety, and I couldn't be more happier.
Yeah, I think he's going to come into year one. He's going to be that day one impactor, probably be our best player on defense. I really think he has a strong chance to be one of those type of players because, of course, his position is going to be needed to come up, make tackles on the running back, come up and make plays, cover guys. I think he's going to be one of those players that's always around the football, always there to make the tackle. So I think he has a chance to be probably our best player on defense. And I feel like he could probably he may of course probably make the all rookie first team. But as you said, it's the stats speak for themselves. Very good player, always there to fill up the stat sheet and show up for it on the field. Like he's not just filling up empty stats, empty tackles. Those tackles are very much there, like shown on game tape. Like those are needed tackles. Like he's always there around the football. But yeah, Jalen Pitre is probably one of my favorite players on this defense and on this team in general. I feel like he's going to be, as I said earlier, one of the future leaders on this football team. Not just defense, but football team in general.
Well, when we first drafted Pitre, I was wondering how we were going to use him. Like I said, he was involved in so many different positions, and like I mentioned about the blitzes, he was used a lot in blitzes in Baylor. So I think Lovie Smith's Tampa 2 defense doesn't really ask for a lot of that. I think last year Lovie said that we don't want to rely on blitzes to get pressure. We're basically a coverage team, but we will blitz and all. But I think last year, I guess we didn't have like the personnel to do it, and now you have Pitre, who's basically like a heat-seeking missile off the line of scrimmage. So maybe that changes. Maybe Pitre will get more opportunity in like quarterback sacks, and they have been. I think from what I've seen, he's like getting pressures and all.
Honestly, I see us moving a little bit away from the Tampa 2. It's probably going to be still our main core defense. But I think we're going to switch up a little bit to man coverage here and there,
Mm.
especially Stingley. He matched that philosophy. Of course, Steven Nelson, more of a man-to-man corner. And then drafting Pitre, who can either play like, of course, two-man high or, of course, as you were saying, come on the blitzes. And if we're going to be running man-to-man, he's going to be he's gonna be able to come up on the blitz. Like we're running Tampa 2, of course, as you were saying, they don't really blitz a ton, but if we're running man to man, or maybe even just man to man, single high or something like that, I feel like that can really help Pitre fit in. If he is gonna be playing like full time safety, I think it can really help him. Like I guess as you're saying, like come in to blitz, like probably like man to man coverage, something like
Yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting since Lovey was like notoriously known to like not adapt his scheme and just be very close minded. But I think it'll be pretty refreshing to see Lovey Smith adapt to his personnel and things of that nature. So let us know in the comment section below how you feel about Pitre starting at safety. I think we should all be excited, honestly. He's going to be a real playmaker for us on defense. And that's pretty much it for the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.